1, 2, 3, and everybody loves Sun Squatch. When he came to town, all the little children wonder why he frowned any time of day. He told them there's a better way. Why can't we get our energy from the sky, from the sun?
Hey everybody, Fred here. Welcome you to the first episode of Sun Squatch and Friends. It's a new experimental live stream video project. We'll be talking to kids like yourself about sustainability, solar panels, and all that good stuff, starring our certain cryptozoological friend, the Sun Squatch, who appears at the end, so don't miss that. It's me and my colleague Brittany. Due to a computer glitch, we didn't record the first couple minutes this time, so you'll jump right into it a little bit as we talk and debunk myths about solar panels. So here we go.
As ReVision, we want everybody to go solar, so we often try to correct the false statements out there around solar, and we want everybody to know that solar is good, solar is powerful, and that you can power your entire house with solar power. And we're here to help you maybe see a little bit more reasons as to why that will work for you.
And we could probably have a whole other show just on why are there so many solar myths. Today, we're going to believe that that's mostly because it's just new technology. You know, when computers first came out, people didn't really understand how to use them. There was times when, I can remember my first computer was this monstrous thing. It was pretty expensive, and only certain houses had computers. And then by the time I was at high school, like, everybody had computers. And today, I have a computer in my pocket, which is more powerful than what shipped humanity to the moon. So solar is kind of in that middle, in terms of the history of solar, we're in that moment where solar really is now available for everyone. And so when I think about myths, some of it probably comes from people who first heard about solar panels in the 1970s, 1980s, when the technology is not like it is today. But all right, Brittany, myth one.
Yeah.
We are here in New England. It snows. There's snow in the picture I see of you there.
There is some snow back there.
Snow, does solar panels work?
Yeah, so a lot of people ask us if solar works in the winter, especially here in New England. The good thing to know about solar in the winter is that the sun continues to rise, whether it's snowing, whether it's cold, whether it's warm. So solar does work in the winter. There's no reason to not get solar panels in the winter in New England. The important thing to know, though, is that the sun is out for less time in the winter than it is in the summer. You know how usually in the winter you wake up and it's a little bit darker, and you go to bed and it's already dark. The days are just shorter. So the solar system will produce less energy on a daily basis because the days are shorter. But the sun still shines. It's winter right now, and it's a gorgeous sunny day. And the solar panels that are on my roof, right there, they are able to produce electricity today because the sun is shining, and the snow that was on them from yesterday's storm, 2 days ago's storm, that snow has slid off of the panels.
I'm not sure if this is working, but I just I was just thinking about what you just said. We got snow on was it Monday night or Tuesday, and a customer sent this. This was within hours. So this was at 8:46. So the snow had just barely finished storming. By 9 in the morning, the snow's all off the panels. So I think that's actually an example from this past week that shows you debunks that myth. Solar panels shed snow and they make power. I'm living here off the grid, and I have all kinds of power. I'm in fact delivering this webinar 100% off solar power right now.
Same, 100% off solar power, this webinar.
All right, let's now find my questions again. All right. Okay, that's cool. So they work in the winter.
They work really well in the winter. Yep.
I've heard they're gonna fall apart. They're gonna break apart. Aren't they gonna break?
Are solar panels going to break? That's a great question. So here's a fun fact, and for those of you that are from Massachusetts, maybe you actually might know the solar panels that I'm going to talk about, but Beverly High School, which is a town in Massachusetts, they were part of a pilot program from the Carter administration, which Carter was the president in 1980s. So he installed solar panels on the Beverly High School in Beverly, Massachusetts in 1981. So those solar panels are still up and running today and working. They're producing energy. Hold as the mail truck goes by. Because the mail people are important. They're still delivering your mail. Yeah, so solar panels in Massachusetts, Beverly, Mass, have been working and were installed in 1981. And bonus points if you can tell me how long those solar panels have been operating. They were installed in 1981.
That's a good.
But the good thing to know about solar panels are when you install them with ReVision, you do get a 25-year warranty on your solar panels. And solar panels have a lifespan of 40 years. So the Carter administration was able to install solar panels in 1981, and it is now 2020. So how long have those panels been working for?
Yeah, we'll see if anyone answers it. I'm gonna share one more other thing.
If you know the answer, drop it in the chat.
Yeah, here's a fun thing too. This was 10 years ago. Okay, guess I've been around a little minute. But this is now a 40-year-old solar panel, same era as what Brittany was talking about. And this is really for very, very, very nerdy engineering people. But basically, the short of it was that this panel still was working great after 40 years. So that's, we have examples of this happening for older panels, and the technology today is much better. 39 years from Ruby. Ruby's the first, and Emma shortly thereafter, as well as Eli's. We got three winter chicken dinners on that.
Nice. So solar panels work for over 40 years, and they don't really degrade. So solar panels are around, working, have a great lifespan, and they got a long warranty. So if there is a faulty solar panel out there, we will normally catch it before that warranty disappears.
Yeah, and we can talk about like what solar panels are made out of, I guess, because I think that's helpful in understanding why they work so long, is because they're made out of very simple materials. But I've heard that solar panels are toxic. They can't be recycled. What are we going to do with all these solar panels, Brittany?
So Fred, I like the effect in the question there. Yeah, no, that was great. Okay, so solar panels are not toxic, and they can be recycled after they're used. So it's awesome if you're able to put solar panels on your roof, because then when they come down off of the roof, they can be recycled. So it's important to know the major parts of the solar panel. So the solar panel is made up of glass, aluminum, plastic, copper, and silicone. So glass. Let's talk about the glass on the solar panels. So imagine a solar panel. It's a rectangle, and on the top sheet of a solar panel, which you see from the road, that's the glass surface on the solar panel. And the glass is able to be shipped back to the manufacturer. It's able to be ground up and broken down into small little itty bitty pieces, almost like sand sized pieces of glass. And then that glass is able to be melted down and put together to then form new glass. And that broken down glass is actually able to be put as foam insulation back into new construction houses. So
really cool. I didn't even know about that part, and I thought I knew about solar panels.
Yeah. So really cool. The glass is 100% recyclable. The next part, so the frame around the solar panels, which from what Fred is showing, it's the black piece on the very, very top. That frame is made of aluminum, 100% aluminum metal. And that metal is also able to be ripped apart by machines, broken down, melted back together. And then that metal can be reused also in the metal industry. Let's see, the next layer down on the picture that Fred is showing is that blue looking actually layer with like white boxes in the middle. That's what we call the cells. So that's where the energy from the sun actually bounces around and creates electricity. So those cells are made of pure silicone, and silicone is one of the most common elements on Earth. So again, we're able to break that apart and melt it all down and put it back together so that we can use it in new products. And yes, Fred did circle the silicone layer for us.
Yeah, and as and going back to our previous solar debunking myth, right? But we actually don't have to do this very much because solar panels last for so long, right? So that we're only just now starting to get the need to recycle old solar panels. And there's also, I guess it's worth talking about upcycling. So that is, so say it does happen. We encounter this at ReVision where someone may have had a system installed even like 20 years ago. It still works, but it could produce more if it was modern panels. And so somebody who wants to really maximize the solar on their roof, or they've got an electric car now or heat pumps and they want to upgrade their solar array and they don't have more physical space to use, they might have that conversation with us of like, I don't want to like take these perfectly good solar panels and junk them, but I do want more solar on the same physical space. What do I do? And ReVision has done a bunch of stuff where we have tried to find new homes for that equipment, perfectly good equipment. It's not like your brand new, fresh from the factory solar panels, but they still are making power. How can they be used? We've done a lot of that at schools, nonprofits. I'm sure you guys have done stuff there. And from the North Andover branch perspective, Brittany, does any projects pop into your top of mind?
We've done some phase 2 work where we've put newer panels back on the roof, on other roofs of the house. So you have like the panels that are 10 years old and then the brand new panels that are a couple months old, but side by side. Yeah. And the last piece I want to talk about the panels is the cable. So in order to actually get the electricity that the solar panels produce from the panel on top of your roof down into the house to be able to power the things in your house that need to be powered off of electricity. Those are called the cables. And with cables, it's copper inside a plastic tube. So when the solar panels are done, after the 40-year lifespan, we're able to take those cables back and we can cut the plastic wiring off of the copper. And that plastic wiring can be melted down like plastic and then built into new objects. But the copper inside the plastic tubing that actually is the conductor, that copper can be melted down and made into more wires and copper items. So with those 5 different pieces of the panel, we really are able to take it back, completely break it down into these different parts, and then we can recycle it 100%. And we do not do the recycling. We actually work with the solar panel manufacturer. They take it back and they break down the panels for us. Usually the parts that are broken down get put into new panels. So solar panels give life to new solar panels.
That's awesome. Yeah, sorry, I jumped the gun a little bit. I did put a link in the chat. I just Googled it real quick, but the thing I was showing earlier actually is a really nice, quite detailed. So it's a bit advanced, but it's got a really nice description of it's all about the manufacturing as opposed to recycling, but it's all.
Yeah.
But this page has a common myth that it debunks that we were asked as well, which is like, okay, that's all groovy, but it costs a lot of energy, right? You have to burn fossil fuels to make solar panels. Are you really doing the world a favor by making solar panels?
Sorry, Fred. I was reading Eli's question that he just sent in, but sorry, repeat yours again.
So we're asking, it costs a lot of energy to make solar panels. They do have to be made in a big facility.
Yes.
Are they going to ever make up the power that they consume?
Yes. Sorry, that is a great question. So we work with a company called REC Group. It's REC Group, and that's who we get our panels from. They're here in the US. And according to them, because they create the solar panels, so we believe them, they say that it takes about 2 years to produce a solar panel, and it takes 2 years of the energy that is used to produce the solar panel with the solar that they use to offset the energy that it takes to make that solar panel. So every solar panel uses about 2 years of solar energy, but the solar panel that you're making will be out there making more energy for 40 years. So to make solar panels does not do more harm on the environment by making them.
Awesome. Oh, and okay, I missed. There's also a Q&A panel, and there's a question here. Alexis has their hand raised, and I don't know if you knew this, Alexis, but it means that you're going to be allowed to talk. So I'm going to unmute you, and you're going to have a chance to talk in just a moment. Go, Alexis.
How far can solar panels reach?
Meaning, like, how far can the electricity that they produce reach?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So solar panels, they're connected to the grid, and the grid is the electricity line. I don't know if you can see that right behind me, but I have a telephone pole. So there's electricity lines that go straight from the pole onto my house. My house has solar panels on it. So in real time right now, as the solar panels are producing electricity, the lights in my house are getting powered with that electricity. But say I'm producing more solar with my panels that I'm using in my house right now, it's gonna go out onto that grid, onto the telephone pole, and then it's gonna go feed my neighbor's house. So the solar power that I'm producing right now is going to go to the closest house to me that needs electricity. So technically the solar power doesn't travel very far, but it goes wherever it's needed the most at the time that it's created. So I think that answers your question. If it didn't, then feel free to chat me and I'll try to re-explain that again.
Yeah, and that is just to be a little bit dorky for a moment. In contrast, I actually live off the grid. So my home has solar panels. If my camera could move, I could show you them. But mine goes straight to a battery. And so I just linked to a page on our website. I'll put a link for anyone who's interested in this. So my house has solar panels and a battery. I need to make all the power I need to power my house here. I don't get access to the grid. If I need more power, I have to fire up a generator or use less power. Most of what we do for customers is this model, grid tied. So you have no battery, but you have solar panels and grid tied, meaning what Brittany said is that, so yeah, it's like a day like today, my solar panels charge with batteries. My batteries are full, like, as they are right now. That extra power actually goes to waste. It's kind of a bummer. In Brittany's scenario, those extra power goes out to the grid. It powers the neighbor's house. You know, we do these big solar farms, which are huge solar projects that can ship power actually, you know, pretty far compared to a residential system. And then you have like the best of both worlds, where you have solar panels, batteries, and grid tied, meaning if you have extra power, it can go to the grid. But then if the power goes out, you still have a battery. So that's kind of this little chart here shows you the three. Well, we don't actually do. My system is not a ReVision energy system, but we typically are doing either this one or this one. Cool. All right.
And you'll put that link in the chat for us, Fred?
Yeah, I will.
Awesome. I'm going to answer Eli's question here. What if the solar panels got covered with snow? Would it still create energy? So, Eli, so if the solar panels get covered with snow, the solar panels will not still have access to the sun, so they are not able to create electricity at that time. But the cool thing about solar panels are the panels are black. And as we know, when the sun comes out, the sun will heat up objects, and objects that are darker color heat up faster. So the solar panels will heat up and melt the snow off of the solar panels, and the snow will slide right off of them. And once again, we'll be able to create solar power energy with the panels. So yeah, great question. And we can show you, we can link some photos on our website if you're interested in seeing some of those, that snow slide off the panels. Keep the questions coming, kids, though.
We're flying right through our time today. I'm not sure we're gonna get through all the ones that we had even had planned. So maybe we'll have to do solar myths round 2. One that I think is it's so preposterous, but it's worth asking. So I've literally heard grown-ups say this, is like, if we use solar panels, aren't we going to suck up all the energy from the sun? What are we going to do? We're going to use up all the sunlight. Ah! Help me, Rick.
Yeah, it is amazing. A lot of people do think that solar energy will suck up energy from the sun, and that is 100% not true. So think about the sun shining and how it's renewable energy. The sun's always coming up, it's always setting every single day. And we're using the energy that the sun creates, and you can use that energy everywhere that the sun is shining. So it's reusing the energy that the sun's giving off in multiple ways. So if I put solar panels on my roof, which I have, and then I have my garden in the backyard with my veggies that I'm trying to grow, my veggies need sun and solar power to be able to grow. The cool thing is just because I have solar panels on my roof, that does not affect my veggies from growing at all. So hypothetically, everywhere in the world that is flat and has sun exposure could have solar panels. The sun could be shining down on those solar panels. We could all be getting electricity from the sun, and we would not be harming the earth or the sun in any way. The sun will always shine, and it will always be good to get that sunlight and create it into electricity.
Yeah, it is like so much. It is a little bit preposterous, but it's like, I mean, to even think that you could suck away energy from the sun is just sort of not how physics works. But it's like, basically, you're just putting out a bucket and collecting sunshine, and there's so much sunshine, you can put out a whole lot of buckets, so many buckets. You can cover the entire Earth's planet surface with buckets, and we'd not catch all the sun.
Yeah.
And so the solar panel is a sun bucket.
I do want to just quickly talk about one thing, though, that I just mentioned. So solar energy is a renewable energy, and maybe you guys have learned about this in school, but there's a difference between renewable energy and non-renewable energy. And I would love if everybody could chat what they think a non-renewable energy is, and maybe you could chat what you think a renewable energy is, aside from solar. So non-renewable energy is energy that comes from fossil fuels. It takes billions of years to create this energy, and it will eventually run out. It can't replenish itself. So any ideas of what maybe people think non-renewable energy is? Go ahead and chat them for me. And then renewable energy is energy that's always available, that's always there for us to take. And go ahead and chat some different types of renewable energy. So non-renewable energy options, coal, natural gas, crude oil, or nuclear. The cool thing, or I guess the easiest way to think about non-renewable energy is what you drive your car on, the gas that you put in your car. That's a non-renewable energy source. But if you drive an electric car, like I do, I power it up at my house with the sun. So I'm using a renewable energy to power my car, the sun, instead of that non-renewable energy like the gas. But yeah, I would say with that, we're at.
Yeah, there's well, okay, I'm gonna answer one real fast. I want to answer Alexa's question. Someone asked twice. They really want to know how they break solar panels, which I don't know why you'd ask that question. You know, what's funny about that though, is that as we talked about earlier, they're very, very endurable. They're solid state. There's no moving parts. I mean, you could whack a solar panel with a hammer, which you should never do, but it will still make power because some amount of sunlight will still get through the glass. Like the raw materials are really quite protected. It just obviously less sunlight will get through because there might be cracks, or at some point you're going to smash the actual electronics. But they're amazingly durable, actually. All right, if we can get the sort of the abbreviated answer to this, but so I'm going to flip Alexis's question around such that it can be a myth. I heard solar panels are really expensive. They sounds great, but only rich people can afford them.
Yeah. A lot of people do think that solar panels are too expensive. I will say that you're already paying for electricity in your house, and the way that ReVision breaks down the cost of solar panels, you will pay per month the same amount that you pay to the electricity grid as you will for your solar panels. So over time, you can pay off your solar panels to be the same amount as your electricity from the grid. If you were looking to pay for solar just flat fee right up front, it's about $1,000 a panel, which you get rebates on. So the price of solar panels are cost competitive with your electricity that you get from the grid.
Yeah, let me just show one slide that really helps make that obvious. Can this be bigger? Make me bigger, please. All right, doesn't want to do that. This is the solar trend line right here. So, and this is 2013. This is ancient. But this is what's this? Yeah, this is still 2017. So like, when people think solar is expensive, they might be thinking about 1977, 1982. But you'll see here the cost has come down 74%. Even just this last stretch from like 2000, last 10 years or so, has dropped in cost by more than 50%. Okay, this was tremendous fun. Now we're gonna do the extra fun part, which is to our moment of Squatch. Whoa.
Hi, Sun Squatch!
Sun Squatch has made it!
Woohoo!
So kids, for those of you, if you aren't aware of who Sun Squatch is ReVision Energy's friend who helps us educate kids about fun ways that solar panels help homes and are helping to protect our planet. So Sun Squatch is our friend, and Sun Squatch is going to do a little song and dance with us.
Yeah, Mr. Jeff has kindly lent his musical talents for us today.
Such as they are. Here we go. Strange times these are, and everyone can feel a bit dismayed. Big challenges around us can make us feel afraid. But it's no time to curse the dark while sitting in the shade. There's something we all have, and it can make a brighter day. We got the power. We got the sun. It comes up every morning and it shines on everyone. So from our darkest hour, the daylight has begun. 'Cause we have got the power and we have got the sun. Now carbon in the atmosphere can be a dreadful thing. Too much can hurt the biosphere. It's very threatening. But there's no need to sit in fear. Stand up and jump and sing. For we are blessed with sunshine that can help with everything. We got the power. We got the sun. It comes out every morning and it shines on everyone. From our darkest hour, the daylight's just begun. For we have got the power and it comes from the sun. Now, the sun, it sheds a lot of light so everyone can see. It fills each hour of the day with its electricity. We'll make a brighter future, and sunlight is the key. It's safe and clean and everywhere from sea to shining sea. We got the power, we got the sun. It comes up every morning and it shines on everyone. So there's no need to be afraid and there's no need to run. For we have got the power and we have got the sun. Thank you very much.
Yay!
Woo! Peace, everyone.
I don't think we can top that. Thanks everybody for attending our inaugural edition of Sun Squatch and Friends. If you have any ideas for future episodes or questions you want to ask, drop them. I say Facebook, and I know not all the kiddos actually use Facebook, so someone will figure it out. Thanks so much for attending. Catch you next time.